Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Mikulowski from ForexLive.com. This is a Kickstart video for October 27th, 2023. TGIF to everybody out there. We're heading into the weekend. Yippee! Before we go, however, we still have 8 or so hours of trading in the New York session. We'll see how things pan out. But in this video, I take a look at 3 of the major currency pairs to kickstart your day, including the euro versus US dollar, the dollar versus yen, and the sterling versus US dollar. So let's get started. Yesterday, we moved to the downside in the Asian session. That downside was started when we fell below the last Friday lows, and then the lows here on Wednesday break below that level and started to move to the downside, then moved into a swing area down through here where we had a number of different swing lows and swing highs going back in time. And that area comes between the 1.0522 and 1.05316, and as you can see, the price low came right near the low of that extreme and then bounced higher and then came back down toward the low of that extreme and bounced higher, and we bounced higher into the resistance right through here where we again saw support last Friday and earlier this week. So we tried to hold that level in the Asian session, but and then eventually it gave up. But what happened, the momentum to the upside didn't really get started. We moved a few pips above that level, but fell short of the broken 61.8% retracement target or 200-hour moving average up here, and we just waffled above and below until more recently when the price started to move back to the downside in the early New York session on dollar buying, I guess. And but we still have this range down here. We could probably put a box right here and say that, okay, guys or gals, get either outside of this box to the upside and start to move toward our 200 and 100-hour moving averages to get above those levels. That's more positive. Alternatively, take the price down. Go ahead and work toward this swing area down between 1.0483 and 1.0500. That would be the course of action. Or we can just die within this box today and push everything to next week and see what happens during the FOMC rate decision week. That rate decision will take place on Wednesday. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. How do you feel? Do you want to move higher? You want to move lower? You want to see what happens next week? I don't know. We'll figure that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Monday, the market opened up where it closed the previous Friday, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then we initially moved lower, but found support by here, and then a nice sharp move to the upside, which continued on Tuesday, which then retraced on Tuesday, and then we started to work its way to the downside, reaching our low swing area through here. So overall, for the week, the euro versus US dollar is lower, but did do a little bit of up and it did do a little bit of down. So anyway, let's take a look at the dollar versus yen next. And wow, we were seeing a break below the 100 and 200-hour moving averages. That kind of took me by surprise here. The price high this week was able to get above the 150 level and also above the 150.15 level. That was the high price going back to early October. And we moved all the way up to the 77 level here. And that was a pretty big move, especially considering that I'm not going to do this. Considering the fear above the 150.50 level, but then the market rotated back down. We did find support within the 150, above the 150, but below the 150.15 level. So within that swing area, rotated higher. But in trading here today, we're seeing a rotation to the downside, just a steady decline. Got back below the 115.15 level. Then more recently, like our current hourly bar, back below the 150 level, and that's helped push the price back below the 100 and 200-hour moving averages. So now we'll be watching these moving averages as resistance. As long as the price can remain below those, and then the bias remains more to the downside. In other words, stay below 150, and we could see the price continue its move, or probing, I should say, to the downside. This area right here between 149.47 and 54 will be a target on the downside on further momentum in that direction. Let's take a look at the sterling versus US dollar. And we've been looking at the 4-hour chart, and I outlined this level right here at the 121.056 as a level of significance or importance that traders should eye, and it goes back to these levels through here where we had support, resistance, and then found support before moving to the upside here. Admittedly, in trading last week, we fell below those levels, but the last thing that did right here was find support against it. And trading this week, we came down to that area here and then broke below it, and now finding support over the last day or so against the 121.05 level. So that's a little bit more bullish here for the sterling versus US dollar. Okay, but we still have work to do. I mean, our this level 121.42.6 was again, this is a 4-hour chart, so this is a couple 8 hours or so of trading. Well, 12 hours of trading where the market found support against the level before moving higher. Then we fell below it, and we traded above and below it here. But in the last day or so, we've seen also resistance against this area right through here. So we have here's a support down here at the 121.05. Here's resistance at 121.42. Pick your poison, which way you want to go, folks. Want to go higher back in the sterling versus US dollar, then we'll look forward to the swing area and 100 bar moving areas on the 4-hour chart. We want to go lower, break below 120.21.05, and let's push to the downside, push down to our low prices that we saw in the week, early of October at 120.36. So there you have it. It's Friday. Markets are staying within ranges, it seems, in the major currency pairs, but this kickstarts your day, and it's up to you. What do you want to do? Where you want to see this market go, and cross your fingers and hope that it breaks in the direction that you want to go. But right now we're doing that. My name is Greg Michalowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.